Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your time and energy that you spend watching my video today. And if you like the content that you see and hear today, please hit that like button. I'm just getting started here on YouTube, so every click of every button helps, or a comment, any of that. If this resonates with you also, please subscribe. I'm trying to be more consistent. I've had some life things going on, and now I think I'm going to be settling down a little bit more and able to do more content for you. All right, that being said, if you have been here before, you know I typically read the person who is coming through from the other side, meaning your loved one or ancestor. They usually come in to me before I even start the reading, just by my setting the intent to connect with someone on the other side. And I always ask Spirit to bring through who they feel needs to come through, not me. And then, so I typically will start there, and then I'll pull some cards for you. But today I'm being guided to reverse that process, because the Spirit that's coming through to me today is giving me this, it's like a dichotomous energy, and I hope that you'll understand what I mean when I get more into this. And so Spirit is saying to reverse it, and maybe that will become a little clearer for me as part of my process. Okay, enough about that. So I feel the cards are already ready. I'm just going to start pulling cards. So this portion is for the person this message is meant for. It's going to show us a little about what's going on in your life. Now, bear in mind, you could, the viewer, you watching, could know this person. It might not be you, but the way Spirit works is magic. You know, how it gets this message to connect to the person who views it, who may, in other words, the person whose this story is about may not watch YouTube videos. And so if you're a family member or a loved one who knows this person, even though it might not be you, please share it, because that's Spirit's way of connecting the story to who it needs to get to. All right. And also a little sidebar about my readings. I don't read these cards in the traditional way that you would, in other words, the meaning of the cards as you would read them in, say, for example, a typical love reading, are not always the same. In fact, sometimes not even the same the way I read them for this kind of reading. So don't be misled by, if I say something about a card and you say, oh, that's not what it means. It's about my intuition and what Spirit is bringing me to connect with. Maybe it's just a small image on the card. It's helping bring through the message that I need to get through today. So, okay, enough yammering on. Let me see here what we've got. So I already know the message that this story is about is a gentleman. And the backstory is this gentleman lived, and now this is the living person I'm talking about. He, for a while, lived in Italy, and met a woman who he fell in love with. And I believe this woman was an American, or she spoke English anyway. And he had learned some English, and because of her, he learned more English, and I believe eventually ended up moving to an English-speaking country. I'm feeling that is the United States. Could have been England, but I feel that it's United States is what I'm seeing, feeling here. So already that's a pretty specific story. He left his hometown, and I'll tell you, again, this is the person coming through, telling me about setting the scene, telling me this message is meant for the person I'm talking about here, that he knew, the person I'm bringing through is a man, and these two were friends. But there's more to the story, so stay tuned. That's about right for a commercial break, I think, right? Okay, so he left his home country of Italy. I think he lived in Venice, but I'll tell you more about that in a minute. So he lived to go have a victorious life in another country with this new love that he'd gotten. He felt sad about leaving his country, and especially about leaving his friend, who is the person who is coming through on the other side today, okay? But also his family. He had family there, and he felt sad about that. So it was a mixed feeling for him. But in the end, you know, love won out for him, and he came to this new country and started his new life, and was very happy, and went on to have a family, and all, you know, kind of a happy ending sort of situation. He was very torn, though. He was very torn, and in his previous life in Italy, he's telling me I want to say he, the gentleman who's coming through from the other side, he feels like this man here was restricted, held back. It's odd. He's giving me the word punished, and I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is about. This person would know that, but the feeling and the word he's giving me is he was being punished, or he felt his day-to-day life was some kind of a punishment there where he was. And so he felt liberated when he left, although it was sad again about leaving friends and family, but he felt liberated. And it could have also been that he was fighting some kind of addiction. Now, I don't feel this is a substance kind of addiction. I think it might have been family, lifestyle, something more like that, job even, where he felt, or you, the viewer, whoever this message is meant for, you felt restricted and held back and chained, if you will. But I feel that was in the past, and I think, you know, it was a hard and difficult move for you to come. And I don't know when this was. It could have been years ago, or it could have been recently. But you felt, you just, you know, this is the card of the wounded warrior. No matter what kind of reading you're doing, that's typically the meaning for this. But it also means, you know, 9 is the ending. Nines are when you're weary, you're tired, but you're ready to put down these wands. It's not the 10 yet, which resets to an ace, but you're almost there. You're at the journey's end. And so that almost leads me to feel like this is a more recent situation here, that you're almost at the end, that you've gotten, or you are working on getting a new perspective and looking at things differently. This move has changed everything about your life. Everything about your life. It's like you've reinvented yourself. And I don't really feel, I think you wished for something like that, but you didn't really intend, or you didn't maybe believe that that was going to happen for you. But that is exactly what has happened to you. And I say that because the Temperance card, to me, this is about balancing energy, but it's also divine intervention. There's an angel here on this card. This is divine intervention, which has helped you. And, you know, I'm getting a very strong message here. You have had a lot of divine protection is the word that's coming to me in this move for you, in this big change, in this complete, I'm surprised I don't see the Tower card here somewhere, but maybe I should look at the bottom of the deck. Nope. But that you are starting a new life, a beautiful opportunity here. And I think maybe even, I think you've started a new career. I started a job, and Spirit corrected me, no, this is a career path for you. And you're very happy. Things are just really working out for you. Things are very fertile in your life, and perhaps even you are expecting, not you personally, but obviously because you're a man, someone is expecting a child. This could be your child, or your daughter's child or something, but it seems like everything is just a beautiful, beautiful reading here, because now we have the 10 of Pentacles. You know, money's good, you know, all abundance. The Empress represents all of the queens in the tarot put together. And Spirit's just warning you not to get in your own head. You've fought the good fight, so to speak, and don't get in your head and second guess with any self-fulfilling, negative thinking here. This whole, thank you, Spirit, this whole journey that you have embarked upon, Spirit is telling me, happened because you were willing to open your heart. So again, I presume that is back to this love that you felt for this person that caused you to make this choice here. But it's showing me, this king, the King of Cups, he holds the cup of love. He holds the cup that is in the Ace of Cups. But unlike the Queen of Cups, he can choose who he gives it to or whether he gives it or not. And I think in the past you were, back to this devil energy, I think in the past you were very selective about who you gave it to and how much of it you gave. But because you were willing to open your heart to this new adventure, this new life that you wanted here, it's just all beautiful here. That it's just all, look, you've got the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups can sometimes mean it's too good to be true. And maybe, I think at one point you thought that was the case. This is too good to be true. This can't be real. It's not happening to me. That sort of energy. But because the Ten of Pentacles is here, because when I read, well, it doesn't matter how I read. You don't care. You just want the message, I know. It tells me this is real. This is tangible. This is earthly. This is, money you can put in the bank and someone you can go home to at night. It's all the good things of life. And you're moving forward. Your willpower, it's also telling me, the message I'm getting for you here is that you have made a conscious effort in your life to focus your thinking toward more positive thoughts. You are very good at looking for the positive in things, even when it's difficult. Excuse me, let me get a little sip of water. And that has also been what has propelled you. That law of attraction, what you think about, you bring about, And sometimes you, again, back to that illusory or illusionary is the word I'm looking for, energy that you thought it was too good to be true. So you have a tendency to hold back. You couldn't believe at times that this was so good it was happening to you. But Spirit is saying, but watch that. This is a cautionary message for me to give you. Watch that, because the tighter you hold something in your hand, that means nothing else can get in. Yes, you're holding that thing in your hand and it's not going anywhere, but you're also not letting anything else in. So that's a bit of a caution for you to watch that thinking. And apparently that applies to love and emotions as well. And if you do, there's the Tower. And if you do that, so this must be something that's going on for you currently. And the reason Spirit is cautioning you that all is good and well. So don't start second guessing it, because if you do, you'll bring about this Tower moment. And I think there's something maybe even going on in your love life that you're concerned. I don't want to go too deep into the deck there, because the energy gets a little diluted. But this is a beautiful story for someone who's made a good new life for themselves and a happy ending. Just don't mess it up. Don't get in your head about it, and when you're in your head, be thinking very positive messages so that you can create more of that good. The consequence of good thinking is good things come to you, right? I mean, not that things don't happen to everybody that aren't, they're unpleasant, but that's life. But we do have an important part in creating our everyday life. So the person who's bringing this message to you, now let me talk about that. This is your friend. This man was a very specific message, a gondolier in Venice, Italy. The man who's on the other side, who's passed and crossed over, is who's coming in today to connect with this person. You were his friend. He keeps, and this is the somewhat ambiguous part of the message that I was hoping for clarity on, which was he's showing me he deeply, deeply loved you. I'm sorry, I'm shaking the camera. He's showing me this just deep love for you. And the times when I feel that kind of energy is when you're deeply in love, like a romantic love with somebody. But he's saying, but that's not the case. You were just like my brother. You were my best friend. You were my soulmate, but not in a romantic way. And yet I keep going back and forth. So what I think may have happened, maybe that was the case. You were best friends. You were, you cared about each other deeply like a best friend would. I feel like you were always there for each other, and you confided in him and vice versa. And perhaps, this is just, what makes sense to me in this message here is perhaps over time he felt something more toward a romantic sense. And I think, to be honest with you, that may have scared him. But he's saying he knew he could never go there, but he loved you so much, it didn't matter. He literally, that's the message. I'm finally getting clarity on that. The message of why this is not important, or why it was ambiguous, is that it's not important, because he's saying love is love is love is love. He loved you. You were, probably the most important, I'm feeling, person in his life. And he just wants you to know he sees you. He sees how happy you are. He sees that the choice you made to leave him in the city where you lived and all that, in that lifestyle. He's saying he sees what a great decision that was for you, and he's happy for you. He's very happy for you. This man who's coming through is showing me that he keeps putting his hand over his throat, like where your Adam's apple is, and I believe he's showing me that's either, okay, just a minute, I'm getting another message. Okay, thank you, Spirit. I believe that's how he died. He could have had throat cancer or something to do with the throat. But he's also giving me another message that he says no one else knew this, but he said it was because there were so many words. From an energy standpoint, he's saying there were so many words I wanted to speak that I never did and I never could, and that was like poison in his throat area, which, if you know anything about energy, that certainly can happen wherever you're feeling that energy is where, or lack of, or blocking that energy is where you can have those challenges. Anything else, Spirit, that you'd like to say or bring through for your friend here? He's giving me a little wink and a nod, kind of a knowing wink and a nod about this pregnancy. And this is not always a pregnancy. Let me find the card again. Hang on one second. Here she is. But this Empress, he's kind of doing like a thumbs up, like good job there, because he's just happy for you that you're moving on in your life, that I believe that this is either your child or your child's child that's pregnant here. I think it's probably your child, and this is the woman that you left Italy to go and be with. And he's just very, very happy for you. He's just expressing how very happy he is that you had this. And I'm being drawn, let's see if you can see this, I'm being drawn to the stars on her crown, which I frankly never even noticed that. But Spirit is saying to me, yes, and there will be many more good events and children. He's actually specifically saying children to come from this this change that you've made in your life, and this, he's showing me lots and lots of grandchildren actually, because you made this difficult decision to walk away from this life that you didn't want and you felt restricted in, and then move towards something more beautiful. Let's see if there's anything else. No, he's no, he's pulling his energy back and saying thank you. So I hope this resonates and finds its way to whoever it's meant for out there. Thank you all for watching. And if it did, just a reminder, please hit that like button and subscribe if you'd like to see more of this content. It does help YouTube recognize that people are watching, and it YouTube will show this to a broader audience, and so it helps to reach the people whose message this belongs to. Okay, folks, that's it for me. Thank you all so much. If you stay to the end, I'm very, very grateful. I appreciate your time, and wish you many blessings. We'll see you soon. Bye.